Penguin Random House Audio presents The Admissions by Meg Mitchell Moore. Read for you by Allyson Ryan. December. The phone. Nora was trying not to worry, but she'd been a mother for nearly 18 years now. She was going to worry. It was a beautiful early winter day in the Bay Area, which meant that it was 65 degrees and sunny, or would be until the fog rolled in later in the afternoon. No need for so much as a mitten. Christmas was 9 days away. She was reaching for her cell when the home phone rang. Nobody ever called the home number. She'd threatened to have it disconnected so many times that it was now a standing joke in the Hawthorne family, because she never had time to do anything she threatened to do. Until now. Mrs. Hawthorne? Yes. Her hand shaking as she cradled the receiver. A man's voice, unfamiliar. Nora hadn't thought her heart could climb any farther up her throat than it had in recent weeks. But it could, it turned out. It could. When Nora and her sister Mary Ann were young, growing up in Narragansett, Rhode Island, they used to play a game. One of them would say to the other, "A genie grants you 3 wishes. What would you wish for?" They would say things like, "I wish all the appliances in the house would turn to chocolate." Or, "I wish I could have the gift of flight for 24 hours. Or, "I wish we had pizza for dinner every night for 3 weeks. When they got older, they might say, "I wish Jennifer Johnson would get a really bad perm that lasted for the rest of the school year." Or, "I wish my breasts would grow, Nora, or stop growing, Mary Ann." Mrs. Hawthorne? Yes. My name is Sergeant Stephen Campbell, California State Highway Patrol. Stephen. Such an ordinary name, Nora would think later, for such an extraordinary phone call. 3 wishes, Jeannie. Rapid fire. 1. Say what you have to say, quickly. 2. Tell me it's going to be okay. 3. Let me go back to the beginning and start over. Mrs. Hawthorne. I'm in the security office at the Golden Gate Bridge. The what? Do you know how to get here, Mrs. Hawthorne? She couldn't say another thing. The room was whirling. She sat down on one of the kitchen stools. Listen carefully, please. I'm going to tell you how to get here, and I want you to come right away. Do you understand me? We're on the south side of the bridge. From where you are, you have to cross the bridge to get to us. She swallowed, tried to breathe. She watched a hand that didn't seem like hers grasp at the edge of the counter. She watched the fingers try and fail to grip the edge. There was a sharp sound all around her, a high-pitched noise 3 octaves beyond glass breaking. Mrs. Hawthorne. The only sound she could manage. Later, Nora would figure that it all started with her job. If she hadn't been a working mother, if the situation with the Watkins home hadn't happened, and then the horror show at the Miller's house, if she'd been more available, more aware, if she'd been better. If. 3 months earlier. Chapter 1. Angela. In the front of the house, the rest of the family went about their business. It was early September, a shade past Labor Day. If Angela Hawthorne had to put the situation into words that her AP English teacher, Ms. Simmons, would appreciate, she might say that the moon was picking its way across the sky. The school year was still a virgin, barely touched, unsullied. Above Angela's desk, tacked to the colossal bulletin board, was a calendar. Circled with a red marker snatched from Maya's room, 7-year-olds had a lot of markers, was the date. November 1st, fewer than 8 weeks away. Her mother had added the rest for Angela with a black ballpoint in her neat Catholic girl school hand, using exactly the words on the website. Deadline for all early action application materials. 8 weeks. 7.5, really. So much to do. 5 AP classes this year. European history, English literature and composition, chemistry, statistics, studio art. Studio art can be an AP class? Her father had asked. That seems bogus. Angela, in tacit agreement, said nothing. The battle for class rank was a bloody one. Its victims were laid out all across the campus of Oakville High and across much of Marin County. Figuratively, of course. Ms. Simmons might appreciate that metaphor. Sammy Marshall, felled by an ill-timed bout of mono the previous spring. Not his fault, said Angela's mother. The poor thing. Was she smiling when she said that? Porter Webb, the school's foremost scholar-athlete, already being scouted by the minors. Lots of time on the baseball diamond. Too much athlete, not enough scholar, said Angela's father ruefully, though it seemed to Angela that part of the ruse was manufactured. At the moment, Angela was first, valedictorian. But the wolves were nipping at her heels. Did this count as a cliché? The wolves were snapping at her feet. Better? Better. One of the wolves was Maria Ortiz, poetess extraordinaire, already published in several journals, only some of them obscure, fluent in 4 languages. Angela's father. Technically, are we counting the Spanish as a foreign language? Because she did grow up speaking it at home. Henrietta Faulkner. No relation, though if you didn't ask, Henrietta didn't offer, Angela's erstwhile best friend. Erstwhile. SAT word. Angela, are the class rankings out yet? Ask Angela. Angela will know the answer. Angela knows everything. Angela, did you do your homework? Angela, did you practice? And already, in the first week of school, a paper due in AP English Lit, as though the 2 novels Angela read in August for summer coursework weren't enough. It didn't seem fair. But I also have to say, for the umpty-umpth time, that life isn't fair. It's just fairer than death, that's all, said Cecily over dinner, an aphorism she'd picked up from The Princess Bride, which she'd spent countless hours of the summer watching with her best friend, Pinky. At 10 years old, Cecily and Pinky seemed to have an unlimited supply of leisure time with which to watch movies and ride scooters and twist each other's hair into unnatural shapes to see how long they held. Where was Angela's leisure time? Gone. Vanished. Taken from her in the night by an invisible thief. Wait, a thief couldn't actually be invisible. Stolen in the night by an unknown assailant. Corny. Overwritten. And assailants didn't necessarily steal. They might just attack. Purloined. Better. Simple and elegant. SAT word. Or, more likely, if memory served, Angela's free time had never truly existed. Perhaps eons ago, when she was an infant, reclining in the Moses basket that her mother kept in the attic, the only remaining relic of Angela's and Cecily's and Maya's babyhoods. Maybe then Angela had had leisure time, though a foggy memory persisted of a swinging ball of red and black and white, something she was meant to study and perhaps learn from. I'm saving it, said Angela's mother, about the Moses basket, for one of you, for when you have your own. And Angela nodded.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?